Idaho, y'all are taking the L. This is absolutely a horrible story, but this is actually an update for those who didn't get a chance to hear the original Michael Vaughan story on our channel. If you guys would do me a favor and look that video up, this is a little boy here that went missing on July 27th of 2021. So we're going to give you guys an update. But before we get into it, I need to give you guys a disclaimer real quick while I refresh my camera. Sorry about the glitchings. They did an update and it's messing everything up. But some of you guys might find my content controversial or offensive. The information is coming from a credible source, which is people.com. So thank you for the article. This video commentary also contains my personal opinion about the facts of the story. The point is to use this as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. If you don't want to have kids, stop bringing them into this world or stop taking custody of them. Give them up to the dads. Stop doing this to the kids. This is just absolutely horrible. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. Now, we can get back to this woman right here who's looking like a mad marshmallow man. Evil, evil woman. But let me tell y'all, because we didn't really have a lot of answers, and we're starting to get more answers now for those who want to follow this story. Beautiful baby boy. An Idaho woman has been arrested and charged in connection with the 2021 disappearance of a 5-year-old boy by the name of Michael Vaughan, who lived just down the street from her, said authorities. On Friday, Sarah Wondra, W-O-N-D-R-A, that's a very unique way of spelling that, 35 years 35 years old, of Fruitland. Yeah, she looked like a Fruitland in the head. Was arrested and charged with felony failure to report a death in a case that has haunted the city for more than a year, according to court records obtained by people.com. Michael Vaughan was last seen at about 6:30 p.m. July 27th of 2021 in his neighborhood in the area of Southwest 9th Street near Red Wing Street, where Wondra, again her name is Sarah Wondra, and her husband Stacy Wondra live, KTVB reports. Our investigation determined Sandra Wondra may have had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report it, Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff allegedly Monday to KTVB. We do not believe she is the only person to have knowledge of this, and we will be seeking out those people who could possibly be connected. And I like that. I love the accountability there. Gotta love that. Because that's what we've been asking for. We want accountability for these babies who are hurt, murdered, or abused, or whatever happened. Authorities have been searching for Michael since he vanished. Recently, police received a very credible tip, Huff said, that led them to Michael's neighborhood and to Wondra. During the course of the investigation, we received information that the remains of Michael Vaughan might be found behind Wondra's house. Let me say that again. They received a very credible tip that Michael Vaughan's remains might be found behind Wondra's house. As a result, we obtained a search warrant. We have not found anything yet, but we will continue to excavate in hopes of finding his remains. On Friday night, police served a search warrant at Wondra's home, a probable cause affidavit shows. Since Friday night, crews have been digging up the yard of the home. Cadaver dogs also searched the yard. After her arrest, YouTuber Jonathan Lee Riches pointed out that Wondra had posted TikToks of herself in the kitchen with Michael's missing persons flyer on the refrigerator behind her. Let me see if I can show you guys that. I don't know if y'all can see that right there. It's a little hard to see. I might be able to make that bigger for you. Hold on. Oh. Now, it's actually highlighted right there, but you might not be able to see that because it might be a little bit too small on the screen. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys don't have to search for it. But if you can see, it's right there. It's missing poster right there. So she was very aware. Okay? So go ahead and get that off the screen. Authorities are searching her property right now, Richard says in the video. That's very, very disturbing to see a flyer of a missing person on a possible suspect's refrigerator. Wandra appeared in court on Monday. She didn't enter a plea, but told the judge the accusations against her are not correct. When the judge informed her of her rights, she replied, "I don't have any reason to be silent because I didn't do anything wrong." When she was detained Friday night, she allegedly told police she had nothing to do with Michael's death, the affidavit states. She allegedly said she did not kill that boy and that God already told me who did it, the affidavit says. That's already a horrible sign. She said, God told me, sorry, it's glitching. She said, God told me who did it. She allegedly told police that she never murdered anyone, but implicated her husband in the boy's death. Woo. She told officers her husband allegedly buried the boy in the backyard by the shed. The day before Michael vanished, Stacy Wandra took Sarah Wandra to the emergency room, he wrote on his Facebook page. "I'm feeling really worried about my wife, Sarah Ann Wandra," he wrote. "She's not feeling good at all. She's having a lot of pain in her side and her stomach. Please be praying for my baby that she feels much better. I love you, baby. Feel better, feeling worried." On July 28th of 2021, a day after Michael vanished, Stacy posted a news story about the missing boy on his Facebook page. 4 days later, he posted the boy's picture on his Facebook page. Authorities have not said whether Stacy is a suspect. Sarah Wandra remains held on a $500,000 bond. Her attorney had no comment. The Fruitland Police Department did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let you hear the news videos. Here we go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Also, if you guys would, especially if you've been following this story, please click that thumbs up. Share this video. Let more people know where to find it here on the AFC Podcast, because we definitely want to try to follow up with this story as well as many, many others. Let's get justice for our babies. Here we go.
A grieving community, reeling from the disappearance of the 5-year-old Michael Vaughan last July, now potentially one step closer to finding closure.
We are all very emotionally tied to this case, just as our community is. I would say probably the country.
Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff spoke with us Sunday afternoon about a credible tip he says led authorities and rescue crews to dig up the backyard of a house in connection with Michael's death. Huff said on Monday that credible tip came from someone inside of the house.
We received a search warrant, and we started excavating the backyard of this residence due to the fact that there's potential for Michael's remains to be in this backyard.
Here's a map of the area. The house is just 4 minutes from the Vaughan family home. Police arrested 35-year-old Sarah Wandra over the weekend, who lived in the house being searched. She's charged with failure to report a death. Wandra appeared via...
And I want you guys to also remember that this has been about a year. Almost a year has passed. So they would definitely have to do some real digging depending on where this boy's body is hidden. So this is just a really, really sad case.
Zoom for an arraignment Monday afternoon in Payette County.
It is alleged that you did on or about the 12th day of November of this year, here in the state of Idaho, fail to notify the coroner of a death, the death of Michael Vaughan, with the intent to prevent the discovery of the manner of death. That is a felony here in the state of Idaho. Do you understand the allegation that's been made against you?
I understand what they've said is not correct.
A prosecutor said Wandra is already on pretrial release, charged with unlawful possession of a firearm in Idaho. Court records show she was convicted of felony attempted robbery in Oregon in 2013.
I think it shows that she's a danger to the community.
A Payette County judge set Wandra's bond at $500,000. KTVB obtained the criminal complaint in the case, but the judge decided to seal the probable cause affidavit and other records. The judge, prosecution, and defense agreed. They do not want to jeopardize such a high-profile case. Chief Huff says they've fielded more than 1,500 leads. Police have not said whether they've found Michael or his remains yet. The chief told us they plan on excavating the entire backyard and digging 3 to 4 feet down.
This is arduous work. It's going to take us a while to get this done, but we're not going to stop.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking.
Police continue to search a Fruitland backyard for what they believe could be the remains of missing boy Michael Vaughan. The Fruitland Police Department acting on what they call a credible tip from the more than 1,500 they've received since the start of their investigation. Our Nicole Camarda has been at the scene all week and has the very latest.
Here in this Fruitland neighborhood Wednesday afternoon, crews starting to work again after a very quiet morning here in this neighborhood. Now, heavy machinery really didn't move much today until the later afternoon after they have been digging for several days in the backyard behind me. Now, police saying a credible tip led them to this backyard behind me in this Fruitland neighborhood, which could potentially have the remains of missing 5-year-old Michael Vaughan. The search warrant for the home was served Friday night. Upon entering the home, officers say they encountered resident Sarah Wandra and arrested her. Police say there is probable cause to believe she had knowledge of Michael's death and failed to report it to police. Excavators have not confirmed whether they have found anything in this backyard, and this case has devastated the town of Fruitland. Driving around, you can see Michael's posters everywhere, and community members say they never expected something like this.
I just think you got your ear to the ground and your eye and your head on the swivel, a lot more than you normally would.
I know that the police department here has this very close to their heart, and they are doing everything in their power to get this solved.
Police say they have received many new leads since this portion of the investigation began on Friday, and they ask for patience as they continue to work through this case. In Fruitland, Nicole Camarda, Idaho News 6.
A judge ordered Sarah Wandra to undergo a mental evaluation, but as of now, we do expect her to be back in court next week. Those virtual hearings will be Monday morning for a status conference and Tuesday morning for her preliminary hearing.
Fruitland woman Sarah Wandra was arraigned virtually here at the Payette County Courthouse, accused of failing to report the death of Michael Vaughan for the purpose of concealing the manner in which he died.
I understand what they've said is not correct.
Sarah Wandra alleges no wrongdoing, arrested for failing to report the death of missing Fruitland boy Michael "Monkey" Vaughan. Wandra lives at the home where investigators have been digging up the backyard searching for Vaughan's remains since Saturday, and is now being held on a $500,000 bond. The state initially asking for more.
She's a danger to the community, and she fails to abide by the social norms that we all expect. And there are obviously very serious implications in her being aware of his whereabouts this whole time. So the state's asking for a $1 million bond.
Prosecutors also say Wandra was already on pretrial release for a previous felony charge related to illegally possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. Should Wandra post bond, she'll be required to be fitted with GPS monitoring prior to her release. In court Monday, the judge also ruled to seal all documents in the case, including investigative reports and affidavits where the details could compromise the ongoing investigation or potential future jurors. And police tell us they don't believe that Sarah Wandra is the only person with knowledge of what happened to Michael Vaughan. She'll be in court next on the 21st for a status conference, and then again on November 22nd for her preliminary hearing. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Reporting in Payette, I'm Karen Lair, Idaho News 6.
So I'm at least glad that we're getting somewhat of an update, and I absolutely hope they find this baby boy's body. And they're going to keep working. And as soon as we get that information, I'm pretty sure we'll do another update. But to find out a cause of death, I think would just give us more insight as to what really happened here. But I know a lot of you guys are following this story, so make sure you share it. And also find us here on the AFC Podcast. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up. And let's continue to keep trying to get justice for our babies. Because whatever they did, we're pretty sure they're not going to tell us. So they're going to have to do the investigation and do the work. And hopefully we'll get some real answers. Okay? Thank you.